What did you... Seriously, what were you thinking? Okay, alright. I don't really review anything on here. I did like a Captain Marvel review a couple of weeks ago. I haven't even done an in-game review yet. But this... Oh boy. Alright, backstory. I've read all of the available Game of Thrones books. I have loved them since I was, 14? I loved them to the point that I try to make my life go in such a way that I'm playing Game of Thrones just so I make sure all of my goals in life are met. If it means working hard to make something happen, it's what I do, okay? I try to be Tyrion in that I know things, and I make those things work for me, okay? This episode, Season 8, Episode 4, is just, no, this is not Game of Thrones. I don't know who thought that this was a good idea, but it's not, okay? And I'll tell you why. Now, Episode 3 of this season, a lot of people were upset by. And I can kind of see why. We lost most of Dothraki in the first, 10 minutes? In a stupid cavalry charge in the dark against an undead army. I was fine with it. A lot of people were upset that Jon Snow did not kill the Night King. It was Arya that went in full murder assassin mode and did it. And you know what? I was fine with it because I like Arya. Arya is a sneaky, murderous little assassin and she's cool. I like her and I like what she did. I wasn't mad about it. But this episode... Ooh, okay. Alright, so let me start. We open the episode with all of the dead from Episode 3 on giant bonfires out in the middle of the field in front of Winterfell, okay? Now, it seems to me that maybe, I don't know, maybe, building a bonfire before the great battle started might have been a good idea. Just put 5 dozen bonfires out in the middle of the field because you had plenty of room. You knew the Night King was coming. You could have set the bonfires out and had the dragon, or 2 of them, light those fires before the battle started. Maybe giving your troops a lighting advantage. But no, we're going to wait till after the battle's over and cremate all the bodies by doing that. So we're not even going to address the fact that maybe that could have given you an upper hand because, your enemies were made of rotting flesh who were allergic to fire. But it's fine. I overlooked it. And then we get to the feast section, and everything's fine, everything's kind of awkward, and then Daenerys decides, hey, Gendry's here. Maybe instead of letting the fact that his dad took over my kingdom, instead of letting that fester, I'm going to make him a lord. And that was cool. It was a very endearing moment for Daenerys. I thought it was very well done on her part. Made Gendry happy. He has no idea how to be a lord, but it's cool. He has a castle now. He is Gendry Baratheon now, not Gendry Waters, which is what his name was supposed to be, because we learned that earlier in the show. Not Gendry Rivers. Slight misstep on the writer's part there already. And then we fast forward. Jon and Daenerys go into some little back room, and the first thing on her mind is that, hey, I still really like Jon, even though he is apparently my nephew with a higher claim to the throne. And instead of her sitting down to talk with him saying, hey, what if we worked this out? What if we made sure that we could come to some sort of agreement? She basically bullies him into keeping quiet and not telling his family that he's Aegon Targaryen. I'm sorry, you're expecting your nephew, the man you supposedly love, is not... You demand that he does not tell his family the biggest news he's ever had in his life, under threat of them not being okay, under threat of them not having a functional relationship, basically insinuating that you'll probably kill him if things go wrong. And what kind of relationship is that, first of all? I kind of expected that to happen because, it's the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, but still, it's low. It's low, okay? I don't like it. It's low. Fast forward to that, what does Jon do? He tells his sisters, which is what he should have done in the first place, right? Well, he goes out to the Weirwood with Sansa and Bran and Arya. And they're like, oh, well, we still love you as our brother. And he's like, I'm not your brother. And they're still thinking he's going on about the whole being a bastard thing. He's like, no. You don't get it. Bran, tell him. Major sin here, okay? We don't see their reaction on screen. The writers did not see fit to show us what Arya and Sansa might have reacted in that situation. We just cut to a different scene. Now let's fast forward a minute, okay? We all know that Jaime Lannister is a low-down, despicable human being. But over the past few seasons, his redemption arc has been beautiful. He has realized that Cersei is a lying, manipulative, evil snail, okay? And his love for Brienne of Tarth is visible on screen. We know that she loves him. We know that he loves her. They're both hesitant to admit it, but you know what? The man grows a pair, and he goes in, and he handles his business. He and Brienne are happy now. I'm not going to go into, too much detail because I'm sure there are young ears listening to this, but it's a beautiful scene. It's wonderful. Brienne's happy. Jaime's happy. Until they're not. No. After 2 nights together, Jaime wakes up and says, I should probably go back to King's Landing and be with my sister again. So this man gets out of bed, goes to his horse. Brienne follows him. She says, what are you doing? He's like, I have to go to Cersei now. And she's like, no, you don't. He's like, I'm not a good person. I pushed a boy out of a window and crippled him. I've killed people. I killed my own cousin for her. And now I'm going to go back to her. Leaving the woman who has loved him for years, crying in the snow after he took her heart, ripped it out of her chest, and trampled on it. Years of character development down the drain. Redemption stories are my absolute favorite kind of stories because we're all guilty of some things that we don't like, We've all said things that we regret, and we've all done things that we wish we could take back. And Jaime had the opportunity from the writers to overcome those things, to give us something to see within ourselves that we could be proud of. And no, they just squandered it. And we can argue that, he's addicted to the chaos that Cersei gives and whatever. No, you don't take a character and build him up like that and then break the heart of another character in one episode. You don't do that. No. On the subject of breaking hearts, Jon decides that he's going to march with the Northmen down to King's Landing while Daenerys takes her fleet and her dragons. More on that later. Ghost is Jon's direwolf. Okay? They've been through thick and thin together. They've killed whites together. They've gone in battles together. And Tormund says, hey, Jon, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I'm going back up north of the wall. You should join me one day. And Jon's like, I don't know about that, man. But you know who should go? My dog. Just take my dog. The past few years of adventures don't matter anymore. It's completely out of character for Jon, one of the most loyal characters on the show, to not even say goodbye to one of his most trusted friends and confidants. Just wrote him out of the show because they need to save for their CG budget. And on that note, the next scene that we see, or maybe it's the scene before, I'm a little out of order here. Daenerys is with her fleet sailing back to Dragonstone. Everything's fine, everything's cute. She's riding Drogon, Rhaegal's flying beside her, and all of a sudden we see a scorpion bolt shoot into Rhaegal's chest. And at first, when watching this, I thought maybe I was seeing something, but then another bolt hits, and then another one goes through his throat, and then the dragon splashes down into the bay for no reason, nothing, just boom. It happened, no explanation, and then we see Euron's fleet hiding behind a rock. I'm sorry, if I'm riding a dragon 500 feet above my ships, I should be able to see a fleet of enemy ships around a rock. But no, it's just, boom, dragon's dead. We have one dragon now. I guess because we need to save for the CG budget for the last 2 episodes. Again, we only have 2 episodes left. I don't know why we need a CGI budget that big that we have to sacrifice a direwolf and a dragon, but that's the world we live in now. And then Missandei gets captured after Daenerys' ships are destroyed. Now, I'm not really that mad about Missandei getting captured, but this is what does infuriate me. At the end of, season 6, Yara gets captured by Euron. And we have this big cliffhanger where Theon jumps ship, and then he raises a force and says, hey, I'm going to get my sister back. It was a several episode arc. No, Missandei gets captured in 1 episode and taken to King's Landing and is now Cersei's hostage. Daenerys and her Unsullied, and apparently the 2 Dothraki that survived, go down to King's Landing and have a parley with Qyburn at the edge of King's Landing. And Qyburn's like, look, man, talking to Tyrion, look, I don't want to burn the city down. We want Daenerys to surrender. Let's play ball here. And Tyrion's like, no, man, I don't want these people to die either, but, Cersei's got to surrender. And then Tyrion does this whole speech in front of Cersei about, think of your unborn child and think of, all the innocent lives that we could save and if you could just step down, we could come to an understanding, everything would be fine. And Missandei is up there on this giant platform right next to the mountain and Cersei. And Cersei's like, oh, that's so sweet. Chop off Missandei's head. She was captured and killed within the same 10 minutes. We have multiple episode arcs of people getting captured, or people being tortured, or people being held hostage. We had a whole story arc in season, 5 or 6, where Sansa is taken by the Boltons. It took a whole season to resolve that, but no. Missandei, Daenerys' most trusted friend and confidant, boom, dead. One episode. This whole episode is just garbage. It's done. It is fodder for a cannon blast shooting a dumpster and causing a dumpster fire. That's what this is. This is not Game of Thrones. This is not what Martin would have wanted. It's not good television. It's shock factor just for shock factor. It's not how you develop characters. It's not how you tell a story. I'm done with it, and I'm going to go smoke my pipe now. I'll see you in the next episode.